How's it going, everybody? Harrison Singer here, representing the Juice. I'm rocking solo on this one. We got an exclusive interview with King Low, Syracuse talent. Got a new project on the way, an EP. We'll get into all that, obviously, as we always do when we chop it up. But King Low, how's it going?
Hey man, how's it going, man? Not much, man. Another day to grind, another
Absolutely.
dollar to.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I guess I got you. You were telling me right before we hopped on. I got you right before you were about to hop in the studio and I guess make some more tunes. Um,
Yeah,
but I mean, no instant need for that, right? With the project you got coming out, you've been telling me you're proud of it, right? So tell me a little bit about it.
definitely, man. The project, it's called You're Invited. It's an EP, 4 songs. Not too long, but that's the goal, probably. I want you to repeat that. As many times as you
Absolutely.
can. All 4 of the songs are like upbeat, more like
Hmm.
dance hall type vibes. You know what I mean? It's just something to get everybody up out of this little slump we're all in because of this COVID-19 thing. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's needed, man. Like everyone just kind of been, that could be good or bad because like if you get the people moving when they listen to it, it's like they're gonna want to get up, leave the house, kick it a little bit.
Hopefully they
I don't
don't get
know.
that.
It's
Hopefully they
like,
can get the already
yeah,
in their house.
it's like Uzi dropping an album during quarantine. I'm just sitting there like, fuck, like I really would have wanted to like see him live, go out and
Yeah,
kind of, vibe with it, like,
it's a
move
new
my
mindset.
body somewhere other than my house. But
Right.
you
Yeah.
win some, you
I
lose
feel you,
some.
man.
Yeah. So,
Definitely.
so you were telling me, I mean, you already kind of mentioned it, like playful. You were telling me dance vibe, like dance hall kind of vibe. When I asked you, some viable comparisons, you kind of name dropped, and nothing too like concrete, but like kind of relatively like name drop. Lil Tecca, a
Yeah.
boogie. So playful vibes. I
Yeah.
feel
And
like
those
that's
like I've been getting, like people like comment, they're like, oh, that, this is like some little Tekka type, or some A
right.
Boogie type. That's kind of why I go off of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's popping now. Like that is totally what's popular. Like the lane for that, I feel like is, you know, it's I'm not gonna say it's pop music, but that is what is popular. So I guess like indirect way, it's pop music because that's what's popular. And I mean, hopefully, your music definitely resonates because like you've been making music for. You were telling me you've been really serious about music not too long, only about 2-3 years about, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's been on 3 years now that I've actually been videos, songs, and interviews and all of that. I mean, even the interviews, those are just starting to roll along,
Right.
but it's been about a good 3 years.
How's the experience been? Like how's from start to now? You know, you got one, two, maybe three words to kind of describe how your humble beginnings have been.
Man, yeah, I've got a bunch of words. I mean, it's definitely been crazy, man. We'll start off with crazy because I was definitely acting crazy at first, and then I got more humble, and now it's just
Mm.
growth, and everything is just growth now. Every song I can just listen to, it's better than the last. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm looking forward to. It's just the growth, really.
We're always growing, right? I mean, no matter what we're doing, right? That's the name of the game. But
Uh,
I, uh, two of the four songs, I believe, or one or two of the four songs are already out. There's a music video, right?
yeah,
Um,
one of the songs on the project is already out. It's called "What You Want to Do." That one has
mhm.
a music video to it. Yo Young is a cameraman out in Rochester.
Hmm.
That going pretty good too, man. People are loving the visual, loving the
Yeah,
vibes. Yeah,
definitely.
definitely, man.
No, definitely. So, I mean, you're born and raised in Syracuse. I spent a lot of time up there at school. Where I'm from, kind of 4 hours down south of Syracuse. It's a little warmer. Now though, it's kind of heating up. So as the weather has, kind of, and not that you're, able to go out and do anything, but I mean, so I guess it's a hypothetical question. Fuck, but what can King Low be found doing? As the frigid central New York air, kind of comes to a close, and the weather starts getting nice.
Man, as soon as the weather breaks, man, I mean, hopefully this whole virus situation is all taken care of, and then I'm looking forward to just getting out there, man. Shows. I'm really missing doing the shows right now, man.
Right.
That's the main thing I'm missing is doing shows. And I'm pretty sure all artists too. They can all relate. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's missing getting out there and performing. So I know that's one thing we're all looking forward to.
Where are some other like the venues? I guess locally, like I mean, I don't know if I'd be too familiar with it if it's outside of Syracuse, but if definitely give it a shot. But if it's also in Syracuse, where, can you find yourself performing more often than not?
Um, I mean, it ranges. I've performed, a few local bars. I performed at the Salt Space Theater that opened up here on the West Side. That's a really big and good venue. They got a lot of good
What was
sponsors
it?
and good people in that.
You
Salt Space.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Theater. That one. There was a few other places. The what is it called there on Erie Boulevard? The Lost Horizon there
Hmm.
on Erie Boulevard. I've done a show in there. Um, Liverpool over at Sharky's. I've done a few little shows, here and there, but I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing a lot more, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Have you kind of just been like you've been home alone? Have you been able to spend the time, with anyone, or like have you been, FaceTiming, your friends and
Yeah,
stuff?
for the most part, I mean, as far as like my people, friends, family, well, not most family, I know I've been in contact with most family. I haven't stayed too far away, but for the most part, I've been just FaceTiming people. You know what I mean? I don't want to take the risk, because especially with my family, I don't want to bring anything home. You know what I mean? And
No way. Absolutely.
I've been staying away from most people, except my normal everyday people I'm in contact with.
Yeah, absolutely. So outside music for a second, you've told me that you like to fish. So I guess that's, what when the weather's warm kind of thing. That kind of answers the prior question. But
You'll find me on a lake somewhere in upstate.
yeah, yeah, I get that, you know, decent 3 month window. Hit get those nets and go crazy. But so in addition to that, though, you are. Let me get if I have this right, an amateur MMA fighter, right? Is that true?
It's been a little while since I've been in the ring, but I've got about a good 8 fights under my record, and
And what's the record? Above or below 500?
my official record is 3-5. So I have three wins, 5 losses, all five. I think I've got 3 of them are decision losses, 2 of them are submission. Then I've got KO, a submission, and a decision win on
Yeah,
my record. So I pretty much done,
done it all in the ring. Yeah,
yeah, a
yeah.
little taste of all the.
What's your go-to like? I mean, because it's mixed martial arts, right? So are you like a jujitsu guy, karate? How's that go?
My favorite is the jujitsu aspect. Yeah, I like the
Hmm.
jujitsu aspect. Definitely the ground and size, weight, strength. None of that matters anymore when you're on the
Right,
ground. You know what I mean? So you get a more level playing field. You know what I'm saying? You have the smallest guy
right.
choking out the biggest.
Exactly how I learned how to fight. That's when big kids were kids. I feel old saying this, like talking about childhood, all that shit. But I remember like kids were telling me you're not tall. You kind of have to try and take kids to the ground. So that was definitely something I tried to live by.
Different world on the ground, man.
um, yeah. So I guess diving back into the music, you growing up were a pretty frequent listener. I mean, for what you've told me, pretty good taste. Cassidy, Tupac, Eminem, 50 Cent. Rough Riders. Is that, as we talked about, your musical
Yeah.
influences or what you'd compare to, and obviously those artists differ, but in what ways, if it's not musically, through your own music, might have those, artists that aforementioned artists, the ones you listen to, like the OGs, the greats, have impacted you either through music or, as a person?
Yeah, I'd say all, man, all the lessons that they dropped in the music and just how they move. You know what I mean? I picked those up strongly. You know what I mean? I live by a lot of those codes and things like that. You know what I mean? That they put down, but I don't ignore, where everything's headed nowadays. You know what I mean? I know that you can't just stay how it was back in the day. You know, I see examples of artists now that they haven't changed since back in the day, and I see
Right.
where they're at, and I'm like, okay, you got to make those changes. You know what I mean? So like I always keep those core values from the OGs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always open minded to these new ideas and where everything's at these days.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Adapt and conquer. Um, so new single out. We kind of touched on it a bit. It's called Invisible. It's off the EP. What is that something that after listening to it, fans can expect more of vibes similar to that? Like because we've tried words to describe what we're getting, but I mean you already have stuff that is straight from the project out. So I mean that's kind of the best comparison I would think, right?
Um,
Vince.
Invisible is it's not on the EP. It's more or less a single that's going to be on another project coming up in
Mm,
like the fall. But I decided to drop it that way I can have time to promo and let people to listen to it and everything.
absolutely, absolutely. So the one that you are gonna have on this EP is what you want to do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you want to do is on there. Four other songs. I've got With Me, Own Lane, and Wanna Love You.
Hmm.
Three out of the four songs produced by the same producer, which is KJ Run It Up, and then one of them is produced by another producer, Andir. Um, and they're all really good songs, man. Upbeat, good vibes. You know what I mean? Good energy. Just
Nice.
hopefully everyone just enjoys them. That's what I hope.
Nice. Absolutely. So, why did you start? This is kind of like a near cliche question, but why did you start, making music? Was it something that you were kind of just naturally called to? Was it something that you saw someone do and were like, I can do that? Like, how did it all start?
Um, well, not really. I mean, I definitely saw a lot of people doing it coming up, but music just always been around. It's been in my family. I got a lot of musicians in my family. Not rappers, but like you know what I mean. I've got uncles,
Mm,
grandfathers, drums, and aunts who sing stuff like that. So like
right.
it's always. And when I was younger, you know what I mean. I would always, freestyle, you know what I mean, make beats, you know what I mean, beatbox, do stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I've always been in the music. I just wasn't ever serious about a career with it, you know what I mean? And I even did a little battle to say in high school, you know what I mean, cafeteria in the high school, which I won, by the way, but I mean it.
That's the story of most of the greats, the banging on the
Yeah,
cafeteria
right.
tables. That's when you
Yeah,
know.
right. One of those, one of those. But it was more for fun back just 3 years ago. I was like, let me actually see if people would rock with me enough to actually have a career in this. But it's turning out pretty good though.
Nice. Very nice. So you were born and raised west side of Syracuse. What is growing up in Syracuse been like? How would you describe that?
Oh man, it's a love hate thing, man. Definitely a love hate thing, man. And because you love it, you gotta love where you're from. You gotta be proud. You know what I mean? But it's at the same time. I mean, everyone knows there's a black cloud over this place, man. It's real hard place to make it, man. And it just the negativity, people dragging you down, lack of support, everything is just it's real hard. It's a vacuum here, so
So I got a question because this is something at SU is thrown around, and word on the street is that it's said by locals, but I definitely use the term, and I don't even live there full time. But the expression "Q'd out" is that a thing?
You Stout?
Yeah,
It might be. Like I say, it might be something around SU. Definitely. I've never really heard it out here, but I could definitely hear it. Like
I
when
hear.
you
Yeah,
say it, I automatically know what that means. Like when you.
it's definitely self-explanatory, but I heard it was like a distinct local term where it's like the tap water tastes weird. It's always cold. The like you said, the sky's always gray, pretty much for give or take 8 months a year.
Yes.
Doesn't even get above 50 degrees until the middle of May, probably this time of year. You
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm literally talking to a guy that has spent multiple times over as many times in the area as I have. So I mean, you already, I mean,
Yeah.
you
All
already
of
know, obviously.
all of them. They're all correct, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's bittersweet, not being there right now for sure, because you miss school and everything. But what's your favorite? What about your on a brighter note, like, favorite place to eat in all of Syracuse?
Favorite place to eat? Huh. Let's see. I'd say, man, I'm a picky guy when it comes to going out. I'd say Smoky Bones. They
Mm,
were had one of the best experiences at Smoky Bones over in the Clay Liverpool area right there. That was
right.
one of the better meals that I had. But like I said, I'm a picky guy. I don't go to too many places just because in my line of work, I go into their kitchens. I see their kitchens, so like that, it kind of cancels out a lot of me eating out at a lot
Right.
of. There's not too
Yeah. That's usually a good and telling, way of a process of elimination.
many.
Would this kitchen pass a health inspection, or are they
Yeah,
lucky
right.
to still be in business? um,
Definitely right.
so I guess a random question. I see a TBE chain on your neck. What does TBE stand for? What's the significance behind it?
TBE is Team Beast Entertainment. It's
Mm,
the label I'm with. Brother, he's pretty much a brother of mine. He started it. Back in the day, we were young, man. This is, I want to say, around 2005, six.
wow.
He started it. He was more known. He had a better name for himself. He was already doing shows, and you know what I mean. He was already right there on the cusp, and he had some personal things he had to deal with in life. But we're still going strong. You know what I mean? Team Beast Entertainment, still here. You know what I mean? And sure, we're making them more waves than ever now, and we've got a lot of things going on, man. For it's not just a label, man. It's like it's a family. You know what I mean? We've got a nonprofit organization we just started up. That's
Mm,
you know what I mean, gonna help and give back to the community. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot more info on that coming out soon. But yeah, man, it's Team Beast Entertainment, man. TBE.
absolutely. That's awesome. That's definitely awesome. And I guess along those lines of giving back and just being involved in the city. I've came across a lot of talent in the city of Syracuse, and I feel like a lot of the rappers and hip hop artists kind of almost describe the rap scene in the city as like an extension of New York almost. You know what I mean? Of how like the style translates, the same style, like lyric based, struggle documentation for a lot of people. Obviously, it's a size wise a decent enough city to have an array. But I was wondering, is there any, are there any Syracuse local artists out there that, outside of who you might have, grown accustomed to, been, affiliated with, inevitably? Is there anyone kind of that you admire from afar or from a distance and is like, damn, like I'd love to, meet up, get in the studio with this person. Maybe you don't have someone of mine, but maybe you do.
Oh, there's a bunch, man. You mean as
Really?
far as other local artists that are grinding, trying to come up?
For sure.
There's a bunch, man. I mean, and I have, man. I've been reaching out. I've linked up with in the 3 years that I started getting serious with that. I've done a lot of features with local artists, but there's still a lot of them, man, that I'm you know what I mean, that I watch. I like their work. You know what I mean. I've got who else is out here grinding? My man 315 Cash.
Hmm.
Um, Actions. There's shit. I mean, there's a bunch of artists out here that are grinding. You know what I mean, and I watch them all. You know what I mean, and I'm like I said, I've said it before. I'm always open to work. I mean, I'm not a cocky or prideful guy. You know what I mean. I'll work with almost any artist. You know what I mean. So while I'm here, willing to work, you know what I mean. Reach out. Let's work.
Absolutely. No, no doubt about that. Um, yeah, I just always think to myself too, because there is a lot of being that there is a lot of talent. It's unfortunate too because Syracuse, like being in Central New York, it's hard for a real talented artist to get the big time look. I feel like every so often, maybe sometimes it happens. And then we right now we have out of Buffalo, Griselda is killing it right now, and they kind of, I feel like, have done a lot as far as bringing the attention to the vicinity. And there have been rappers that have certainly gotten looks and whatnot, but it's not a hub, and I feel like it has the talent, at least per capita, to garner more attention than it has received.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, and shout out to those guys in Buffalo, man. Griselda and all of those guys are they're definitely putting on, man, and they're hard, man. I like their work.
Yeah, no doubt. They represent, I guess, the state, the whole area, real well.
Right.
Buffalo country, Bill's Mafia, all those people go crazy every Sunday.
Definitely.
So one thing that you also mentioned to me is that something important to you, as far as at this point you're relatively new in this, and right off the word that you brought up to me, growth. One thing that you would love to hear, and who you'd love to hear from, are your fans, and kind of as far as what you've done so far, what they want to see more of, and whatnot. I mean, is there anything specifically? Because you said like maybe it's within the music, maybe it's more videos, like 'cause we were talking a few days ago. But is there any specific kind of feedback that you want the fans to look out for, especially as they hear and welcome this upcoming project?
Yeah, definitely, man. I want them to take it in, you know what I mean, soak it in, and let me know. Let me know what the vibes are, man. What they want to hear from me, what they want to hear me change, or you know what I mean. I'm definitely open to all the suggestions, all the critique. I want to hear it all. You know what I'm saying? So once they hear
Absolutely.
it, and you know what I mean, they feel like they have an opinion. However, they want to reach out. My DM open. You know what I mean? They can hit me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know what I mean? I'm on all of them. Let me know what they're liking. You know what I mean? What they're not liking.
And the new project that's coming up, you're invited. The EP will be on all streaming platforms as well. So wherever wherever you want it, you can get it. Right.
Wherever you want it. Yep, it's gonna be all platforms.
Perfect. It's definitely handy. It comes in handy. I always feel like and speaking of Griselda too, Conway the Machine dropped an album last Friday, and I guess originally he put it out only on Bandcamp, and like they just kind of do whatever they want. I mean, they don't really care about the numbers and the fame. But I'm sitting here saying like,
Only on
do it for the people then. Like come on.
Yeah, yeah. He must be crazy following on Bandcamp. That's all I can think of is, geez, only Bandcamp?
Yeah.
I-
This one time at Bandcamp, I don't know if you know what movie that's from.
Bandcamp.
American Pie.
Yeah.
But so I guess on a more get to know you as a person kind of note. So West Side, West Syracuse, West Side of Syracuse. What high school did you go to?
It's weird. I mean, I went to Nottingham actually on the east
Oh,
side. So
okay.
I went to Shea, right from Shea Middle School. I was gonna go to Fowler, but I'm that guy that doesn't like to do what everyone does. So I was like,
Sure.
let me
Renegade.
go to other school, you know what I mean? And it wasn't bad. I liked it. I mean, Nottingham is
So
definitely, I think.
So what kind of kid was King Low in high school?
Different, man. A lot different than I am now. I was quiet, and I didn't associate with anyone. I was an antisocial guy, really, man. I didn't talk to any. If it wasn't anyone from my hood, my block, I wasn't talking to them. You know what I mean? I just didn't.
Just
It's
did your
not
own
how I
thing.
was.
Stuck to
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that's I mean I respect that for sure. Keep the business in house at home.
Right.
Yeah. So is there anything about King Low as a person, or from a music perspective that you know fans didn't know? If people who didn't know you before and are seeing this right now, is important for people that are going to watch this to know.
Shit about me. Just I'm not as mean and rude as people say I look. A lot of people, they'll look at me and they'll be like, yeah, he looks mean. So like they won't want to talk to me, or they won't want to, what I mean, start up conversations. Like, that's just how I look. I mean, I'm not as mean as I look. So you know what I mean? Reach out. Let's chop it up. Let me
Dang,
know what.
I didn't know that people do people tell you that, like, dang man, like you just
Yeah,
look mean, like.
I surprisingly people are like their friends will tell me, it's like my friend. I mean, they wanted to say this to you or whatever, but they say you look mean, like you're gonna spaz on them. But I'm like,
That's something. I yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have. Yeah, I didn't really. That didn't cross my mind. But and that's definitely good to
yeah,
know for those who, might look at you and be like, this guy looks mean. Now everyone knows, like, he's not mean,
yeah.
and I can vouch for that. But, so where does or what can we expect? What do you hope, expect, think, the next 5, 10 or so years, you know, have in store for King Low?
Um, Within 5-10 years, man, I hope to have made my mark and be on my way out of this, man. I don't want to be right. It's like with a job, you know what I mean? You don't want to work too long. So I
Right,
want to make some timeless music that people can enjoy and that they're going to always enjoy.
right,
And I kind of want to just, fade on out. I don't want to overdo it. You have some artists who, they stay in too long and, things kind of get watered down and you're like, you don't really care for them too much anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to try
yes,
5 years to get all of that work done and make my mark and fade on out of here, man.
absolutely. I mean, and then on to bigger and better things, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
take the
right.
Jay-Z route.
Yeah, enjoy life. You know what I mean? I got some mountains and stuff I want to hike. You know what I mean? Some
Right.
places I.
Then you better get out of Syracuse then. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 5 years, I want to
right.
make it happen so I can start enjoying that stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, definitely another reminder for, everyone who's seeing this right now is make sure you check out that EP. You're invited. That will be a 4 song, playful, dance-ish, move your body type vibe EP during this quarantine. Hopefully, you got some room in your house. Kind of make some room if you don't got large space anywhere. You
Yeah,
know,
move some around and make some room.
put in the headphones. Maybe I don't. I was gonna say you can't really go to the gym either. I don't know what, but you'll figure it out. You'll listen
Yeah,
to it, enjoy it. That'll be on all streaming platforms.
right.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything you know that we haven't touched on? I mean, like, anything going on? Anything that I guess when I said about you, you kind of answered it that you're not a mean guy, but I just don't want to make sure we're not forgetting anything.
Yeah, no, man, not much. Yeah, not much, man. Just yeah, man, enjoy that project when it comes out, and just look forward to a lot more. I'm just getting started. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of things going down. Just continually going. I want to say within the next month, but yeah, I can't say that because it's the month after that and after that. So it's like, just keep a lookout because I'm gonna be
Can't
doing a
rush
lot.
perfection, man. You just can't do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Definitely. So that's King Low. Be ready for that EP called You're Invited. I mean, you're invited to listen to it for sure. It's pretty self-explanatory right there. Bang. But yeah, for King Low, for Harrison Singer, you know, you guys enjoyed another installment of one of our Juice interviews. Is there any parting words that you have for everyone listening?
Stay safe. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Check me out on all my social media at official_King Low on Instagram and
Sure.
Twitter at King Low 315, Facebook at official King Low. Hit me up. You know what I mean? Look out for some music. Got a ton of music, videos, everything coming soon. Interviews. Shout out to my man Harrison. Definitely appreciate you, man.
Hey, pleasure's all mine. Definitely love putting on the local Syracuse talent when we get the chance. No doubt about it. Thank you for taking the time, and we'll have you back too. When when all this shit's died down, and we're actually back in the studio, we'll have you come through. Do an actual in studio. Maybe have you spit some bars if you're up for it.
Definitely.
Tease the fans for sure. Absolutely. So, one more time. Well, absolutely, my pleasure. One more time. That's King Low. You're invited. All streaming platforms this Wednesday. Just give it a listen. 4 songs, and you'll probably end up liking it anyway. So, your benefit. Alrighty.
All right, boss.
Hey, thank you very much. It was fun.
Yes, sir, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right, man.